Dan.
Yeah.
There's a
I don't
question.
like these widow jokes.
There's a question here for you and for Megan, who I will explain when she returns. Tell us about your trip to Desert Bus this year, and then about your worst travel experiences. If you have a funny bad travel joke or story.
My trip to Desert Bus this year was actually pretty painless. Like, aside from the fact that I needed to get up at 4 a.m. Because, like, I had this whole train of thought that was like, so my parents are wintering out here on the island. So I was like, okay, if I get out kind of earlier in the day on Thursday, you know, I can go spend like the afternoon with them. We can go get a bite to eat, you know, before like the all hands meeting and whatnot, and before I need to start like focusing. So I'm like looking at the flights, and there was one that got in at like 9:30, and I was like, okay, so land, you know, the like hour it'll take me to get a rental car and get into get into the city, and then I get into my hotel, and then I can take a little nap, and then I can go see my parents. And it was like, that all sounded super great. And then like 4 days ago, I had to check in for my flight, and I was like, oh right, you should have counted. Suddenly I'm like, what time do I need to set my alarm for tomorrow morning? Okay, well, if the flight is at 6:45, that means it boards at 6:10. That means you need to have your luggage. You have to have your checked bag, because I needed to bring Monopoly for Millennials, which meant it couldn't fit in my carry-on. So I needed to check a bag. So that means you need to be there 90 minutes earlier, which is 5:15 in the morning.
But
It takes
get to the airport?
25 minutes to get to the airport. I want to take a shower before I leave, and I need time to like wake up, and I need a buffer in case I just like flail and hit the first
So
alarm.
you woke up at 2:30.
So first alarm was 4 a.m. Second alarm was 4:15, and yeah. So aside from that, it was fine. It was a perfectly cromulent trip. It was just, you know, Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Victoria, both very short flights. Yeah.
I have bad news, which is that the Hot Ones flight was cleared out yesterday. The good news is that we're getting a very hot, spicy hot sauce in the future.
Cool.
Excellent.
Delightful.
So it's just somewhere down the road waiting for you.
Let's go.
Megan, how was your trip to Victoria?
What's there to say about it? It was uneventful.
Great. Do you
Yay.
have a story from a different time when you traveled, when something was eventful in the bad way?
Wow. Oh, one time when we were trying to leave here, it was so foggy that they couldn't leave.
Oh,
The plane couldn't take off. And it was like a time of year when apparently there was only one flight from Vancouver to Minneapolis, like all day, and we didn't get there in time. So we just spent the day hanging out in Vancouver.
Oh.
We ate some ramen with our friends. We went to go see the movie Smile, which will give you a time frame on when this happened. It was in theaters.
Huh.
And, you know, and then we went home the next day.
Cool.
It was fine.
Yeah. So then the second half of that, when my grandmother passed away, this was about 10 years ago. So when she passed away, they were up in Prince George.
Oh.
And so
I'm sorry.
already, yeah. So my
I'm
plan.
from Prince George.
Context.
Yeah.
I'm allowed.
Yeah. So my plan was that it's like I jumped on, like I was gonna jump on the first Greyhound. I was gonna get out there before my parents, because like it's like, okay, like one of the great things about being self-employed is you can drop everything to go help family. So I was like, I jumped on the first bus, and I was gonna get there, and like my aunt was gonna pick me up from the Greyhound station, and then I was gonna go get Grandpa's car, and I was gonna like drive everybody around for the next couple of days in Grandpa's car.
Reasonable plan.
Reasonable
How
plan.
did it go wrong?
I got to Edmonton and was informed that there was a crash on the Yellowhead between Edson and Prince George, which there are basically no.
That's the route.
That's the route.
That's the way you get there.
The way you get there.
Yep.
So, my options were wait for the next bus the next day,
Yeah.
or
Did you take a detour
I had to take a detour.
to Kamloops?
No,
Where'd you go?
to Fort St. John.
Oh no!
In order to approach Prince George
From
from
the-
the east.
You would have. Oh my God! You would.
So instead of getting there before my parents and driving everyone around, I got there after everyone else because, well, that did not take me a full extra 24 hours. It came pretty close.
Okay, so I tried to
Brutal.
figure out how to explain this for Megan, but my knowledge of U.S. geography is not good enough. But I think it would be like, hey, I need to get to where's Warren Buffett from? Is it Omaha? I need to get to Kansas, but I've been detoured through Omaha.
Yeah.
Omaha's, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Those, okay, if I'm driving there from Minneapolis,
Yeah.
Omaha's on the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
So
close.
Texas?
Texas is
Yes,
further.
that would be ridiculous.
All right.
Okay, I'm looking at it
Texas
on a
to
map.
California.
So Edmonton here,
Yes.
wanting to go to Prince George.
Yes.
Fairly straight shot right
Yeah.
through
Mount
Can we get
Jasper
this up
then.
on the,
Yeah.
maybe
Mount
on the
Robson,
Google
yeah.
map up?
Hang on. Hang on.
Instead, had to go through
Oh my gosh. Okay, yep.
Fort St. John up there. So they
Wow.
would have had to go
Yep,
all the way up and down and
back
around.
down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so long, and then I was frazzled. I got
This is from
like
Edmonton?
instead of driving from Edmonton.
Okay.
So instead of driving everyone around, I got picked up and driven straight to the hospice. It just
Intense.
like in time, like a half hour before, before everything. Straight back to the grandparents' house, and then my aunt, bless her heart, in her grief-addled state, decided to make mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Finally diced an onion into them. A raw onion into them. After they were made, I took one spoonful, put it down, and went to my dad like, I need your car keys. I am going to McDonald's. I haven't eaten in a day.
oh no.
Wow.
No.
Did you put any salt in there?
I don't remember.
That's what that
wouldn't
onion
have.
was.
That, I don't
That would not have
Yeah,
helped.
not
Yeah.
gonna.
Okay, I do have a different travel story that's not about Canada.
Okay.
That's acceptable.
Yes, please, share.
Oh wait, but Erica.
I was gonna say, I believe we have something at 5 o'clock. I'm just gonna check with
That's
our
true.
co-pilot to see if it's ready or not.
I'm figuring that out.
All right.
Okay.
Travel story.
So in 2023 was the year that I don't remember what year the eclipse was at this point. The most recent eclipse, whenever that was, friends. I went to, my friend and I flew to Boston, and our friends from Rhode Island drove up to get us, and we drove into New Hampshire. And then in New Hampshire is like a pretty small, it's a very small state, and there's also not a ton of people there. And so there is a place in New Hampshire where the interstate, like the only north-south interstate in the state, goes down to one lane each direction, which is crazy. And usually fine in New Hampshire. Except that this was the eclipse and everyone in the world was there to see it.
Oh, no.
And you could get into the path of totality, like the maximum, like the center of the path of totality, way up north near the border. So my friends and I drive all the way north to basically the border with Canada. And it's amazing. We do get to see the eclipse for we got 3.5 minutes of totality. It was incredible.
pretty
It
cool,
was
yeah.
so cool. We were standing on a frozen lake with snow and hills all around us. And then a drive that should have taken us an hour and a half to get back took us 8 hours. At one point, we were passing through the town that we were going to eat an early dinner in. And at this point, it's 9 p.m. And again, it's a small town. And so we're calling around to every restaurant, and everywhere is everywhere. They're everywhere is booked. They're you could go to Applebee's and there would be a 2-hour wait, but they would seat you. And I was I would rather cry in the parking lot of an Applebee's than eat at once after waiting there 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we were able to order Domino's and eat it out of the trunk of my friend's car.
Well, there you go. There you go.
And then eventually get home. But the thing was, none of the maps were adequately telling you how long the drive was. Because
'cause it breaks their estimates,
We were
yeah.
at a standstill, so it just thought we hadn't started the drive. We thought everywhere had just not started the drive instead of being at a complete standstill
Oh my
in
God.
traffic.
Dan, for illustrative purposes,
Yeah.
I've prepared a Google suggested route. So this is from Edmonton to Prince
Yeah, so
George.
that's the Yellowhead.
Yeah, so that's the Yellowhead Highway. So that's the normal route you would take from Edmonton
Yeah.
to Prince George. It,
Yep.
it estimates 7.5 hours.
Taken that many times.
Yeah, and so then you had, and this may not be accurate because I just threw Fort St. John in as a midpoint. So the second route then is it was it this or was it worse than this?
No, it was basically that. I think we went up at Hinton instead, but basically that.
The difference though is that you were on the bus.
I was on the bus as well.
So it was probably stopping in every single small town.
It wasn't
quite a milk run?
It wasn't quite that. I mean, also just because as you can see, there's not actually that many.
Yeah.
But we did stop in Dawson Creek, and yeah. So we did make a couple stops. The big thing is that there was then an end of shift layover in Fort St. John. So I had to get off the bus with 30 other people who were also trying to get to Prince George, and we then just had to wait for 4 hours. So even that, you could see that the suggested route was 12 hours, 11 almost 12. Just add an extra 4-hour wait in Fort St. John to that, plus the fact that the bus drives slower and we had a couple stops. It was easily a 16, 18-hour trip. So not
Gross.
Did you stop in Chetwynd?
I
Would know.
was so delirious. Keeping it I had already done Calgary to Edmonton, layover in there, bus gets canceled. Wait. So I didn't even get on the bus at Fort St. John until midnight.
Oh, so who knows what happened in the Peace River country?
Yeah,
Gross.
this was worse than the time that I accidentally got on a bus to Chibougamau, Quebec.
And then
Let me write that down for our next spelling watch. Hold on.
I know who's getting that one.